Hey, what's up? I don't have the green screen this time. I don't know. Do you prefer it with the green screen or without? But we're back for more solicited advice with James. Let's dive right in. Do you have any tips on breaking ingrained habits? I struggle with things like excessive social media use, picking my skin, etc. So, honestly, there's no easy way to get rid of bad habits. It's just got to be discipline on your part. Like, there are small tricks you can use to help you maintain your discipline, but at the end of the day, you just got to want to stop more than you want to keep doing it. And you got to hold yourself to it, and you got to hold yourself accountable. There are, like I said, though, some small tricks you can use. For example, if you're on social media too much, then you can just put your phone away. Put your phone in the other room while you're busy doing something else. And I would recommend just trying to do one thing at a time if you're trying to break social media addiction, trying to break your phone addiction. You know, like just watch a TV show or movie. Don't watch it while browsing your phone. Just read a book. Don't read a book while having something else going on. You know, just do one thing at a time. And just utilize things like that to avoid picking your skin, avoid social media, or excessive social media, I should say, and eventually the discipline will be easier to maintain. Their second question is, how do you balance different hobbies? I often find myself neglecting some while spending large amounts of time on others instead of being able to spread my time evenly, even when I have enough time for everything. Simple solution to that is to just make a schedule. You know, like spend 1 hour on Wednesday doing this hobby, spend 2 hours on Thursday doing this other one, and so on and so forth. Like, I can't say exactly what this schedule should be or how much time you should allocate to each of them, but just make a schedule and stick to it. You know, again, that's going to just require discipline. And if you find yourself gravitating away from certain hobbies and towards others, then, well, you need to ask yourself why. You know, why am I attracted to this hobby but not the other ones? And then ask yourself if you really need to continue the ones you're not as into anymore. Now, I'm not saying you should just immediately give up on the ones that you're not as into at the moment because, you know, again, maybe your hobby, maybe I should maybe put quotes around that, that's sucking up a lot of your time is just aimlessly browsing social media or something, just as an example. And that one is one that you're not going to get anything out of, so I would recommend not doing that as much and going to other hobbies which are a little bit more fulfilling and productive. But at the end of the day, you only have so much time, and you just need to ask yourself, what hobbies do you really want to do and what are you getting out of them? Hi James, longtime viewer here. I want to write books for my career. It's one of my biggest dreams and ambitions. I am planning on going to college next year to study English and history in the hopes of improving my writing and meeting other people. However, college is expensive and I often doubt myself and my abilities and wonder if the costs will be worth it. Do you have any advice on writing as a career and or studying English? Thank you. Well, as of now, I have not been able to make writing into a career, so, you know, I'm probably not the best person to ask about that. But I do see what you're saying, like trying to go all in on making it in this field, that's risky. And personally, I would recommend not doing that because if you're already going to college, then I would say go to college and get a degree in something where you'd be more employable afterwards. You know, I don't know exactly what that would mean for you specifically because we all have things that even though they would be a good way to get a job, you know, a degree or in engineering, let's say, would be a good way to get a job. That's just not something that we could ever do, and I don't want to make assumptions on your behalf. But an English degree, yeah, there's things you can do with that, but I mean, I just recommend doing something that doesn't make you want to hurt yourself at the end of the day, but also will pay your bills. You know, I would recommend going in a career field that will allow you to support yourself and then spending your time on writing and trying to do that. Like, it is very doable. Like, you can start a career after you've already started a career. And this way, if it doesn't work out, then that sucks, but at least you will be financially secure. I've been feeling really hopeless since the election last November and even more this month after the inauguration. As a fellow American, how do you stay optimistic about the current political landscape? Oh, I don't. Yeah, I have come to terms with this at this point, that 80% of Americans are either irredeemably stupid or irredeemably evil, or both. Americans have failed at a lot of turns. You know, we failed ourselves and we failed each other, but also we've been failed at a lot of turns. Our political and business leaders have failed us at a lot of turns. Our media has failed us at a lot of turns. Like, there's just not much we can do after a certain point. Americans have said they want fascism. Americans have said it's okay to just be an open neo-Nazi and be a shadow president. So fuck them, you know? Like, you can feel sorry for the victims who fought against this sort of thing, but I think that you should take some time to acknowledge that a lot of the people who were in favor of this are being hurt by it as well, and just draw in the schadenfreude, you know, bask in it a little bit. Make sure you laugh at the people who voted for the leopards eating people's faces party, and they are getting their faces eaten by leopards. Like, it's their own fault. They don't deserve any sympathy. So just draw some strength and energy from laughing at them and mocking them. In the meantime, just focus on yourself and your small circle, your friends and family. Like, you try and take care of them best you can and fuck everybody else, you know, unless obviously, again, someone's a victim who worked against this sort of thing, in which case, if you feel the urge to help them or feel sympathy for them, then you can try and help them. You can try and do something for them. But I really do not recommend that you do anything to help people who were in favor of this, who advocated for it, who voted for it, who worked for it in any real way, because this is what they wanted, and I say give it all to them. So that was another episode of Solicited Advice with James. If you want me to answer some of your questions, and remember, this is advice, you know, like, ask me for advice on your life or relationships or your career path or something, and I'll do my best to help you out. Don't just ask me random bullshit and expect me to answer, because I'm not going to. And a lot of people keep doing that. It's kind of annoying. But if you have any questions, let me know down below. And that's all. Please rate the video, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Goodbye.